In this video, we're going to demonstrate multiple ways to grade assignments in Moodle. If you are completely new to Moodle assignments, you may wish to view our assignments video first and then come back to this video later. There are several different options for inputting your grades into Moodle for assignments, but the most recommended is to always do your grading within the activity link rather than within the gradebook. Grading Moodle activities from inside the gradebook can result in overridden grades, which can restrict changing grades or feedback within the activity. To grade within the activity, first we're going to start by clicking the assignment activity link on the Moodle course page. From this view, I can see how many participants are in the activity, how many of those students have submitted assignments, how many still need grading, and more. To start grading, I'll click on the Grade button in the middle of the assignment page. Once I click this button, I get a nice PDF-generated view of my first student's submission. In Moodle, I don't have to download the files that my students have submitted. I can just view and grade them directly in Moodle. You can see that this student has submitted an essay. So I'm seeing the first page of their essay. Since there are multiple pages within the submission, I can click the different pages up in the top left corner. I can give a basic numerical grade in the right side column. If I've set up a rubric or grading guide, that would appear here as well. If you'd like to learn more about adding rubrics or grading guides to an assignment, we have a separate help document for that. I may also want to give a variety of feedback on my student submission. I can add basic feedback in this Feedback's comments box. I can type out text, but I can also click Show More buttons to see other options. I can record audio or video feedback using the Moodle multimedia tools, or I can even record with the Uja button. If you'd like to learn more, we have a separate video on creating videos using these tools. Just like with a physical copy of a student's submission, I can also mark up and annotate this file using the tools available to us in this Moodle view. I can write comments, I can circle things, I can highlight, and I can add stickers like X's, smileys, and check marks. Finally, I can put a feedback file here at the bottom of my screen. To do so, I can drag and drop, or I can choose a file from any of my folders and I could submit that information here. Once I'm done, I make sure that the Notify Student checkbox is checked so that the student receives an email notification that I've submitted my feedback and their grade. If I save changes, it will stay on this view, and if I want to see the next submission right away, I can hit Save and Show Next. I can also navigate to a specific student using the Change User drop-down menu in the top right corner. This is what the student view would look like for some of those feedback options. You can see the feedback comments, and if you expand them, you'll see the audio and video we recorded. You can also see the annotations file that was created when we added annotations to the student submission. You can see the feedback file that we added, and you can see the feedback audio that we recorded. That's one way to view Moodle assignments and give feedback. However, there is another option. Maybe instead of grading this way, I would prefer to download all of my student submissions at once. So to do that, I'll start on the main page of the assignment, and I'll click View All Submissions. From here, I'll click Download All Submissions. Now I have a zip folder downloaded to my device, which I can open from here or by going to my downloads. I'll click Show in Folder. Next, I want to right-click and select Extract All. I'm going to choose where to save these files on my device, and once I've done that, I can see all of the student submissions within my folder. Each student who submitted will have their own folder with all their submission files within it. From here, I can open each of these files, grade and annotate them however I want outside of Moodle, and then I can upload those files to Moodle as feedback. I will still have to manually enter in their numerical grade, either the way I showed before, or in some of the ways I'll discuss shortly. Another way I can enter grades for students is using Moodle's Grader Report. I can use this to grade students using more of a spreadsheet view of my gradebook, or to manually override grades. This is a good option if you like doing your grading in Excel, and then you want to transfer those numbers to Moodle. To access the Grader Report, I'm going to click the Grades tab on my main course page. From here, I'm going to click the drop-down menu and select Grader Report. Next, I need to make sure the edit mode is turned on. Then I can put in some manual grades for each of these students. Once I'm done, I'll make sure to save my changes. I can also grade using Single View, which allows me to look at one activity's grades at a time. This is helpful if I want to bulk insert grades, like giving everyone who hasn't received a grade for an assignment a 0 because we're past the due date. It's also good for looking at a single student's grades in one place. To access Single View, I'll use the same gradebook drop-down menu, but this time I'll select Single View. Now I have the option to choose a specific grade item or user from my drop-down menus. I can select a specific assignment and see all of my students' grades in one place. Let's say I want to bulk insert a grade of 0 for any student who doesn't have a grade yet, because I know I've graded everyone who submitted on time already. To bulk insert a grade, I'll click the checkbox by Perform Bulk Insert. I'll select whether this is for empty grades or all grades. In this case, it's empty grades. And I'll type in the numerical grade I want to give. Then I'll click Save. Now that grade will appear for any student who had not already received a grade. I might also use this if I had an item for something like student attendance or good attitude, where I want to manually give everyone full points. I could select all grades and make it whatever the maximum amount of points is for that activity. If you have further questions about grading assignments, you may wish to access our Faculty Help Library. To do this, go to Moodle, select the Faculty tab at the top of the course page, then Faculty Help Library, then Moodle, which will take you to a web page with all of our Moodle help documents and videos. Need more help? For technical support, contact the e-LIS support team by clicking the Get Help button at the top of any Moodle page. For e-LIS instructional design services, like lessons or course building, email idteam@oakland.edu.